Mike and I both submitted this story because it's kind of interesting. It's about something we talked about earlier where, anyway, I'll tell you what, I'll let Mike introduce it in today's Not So Critical update.
We can just kind of take joint ownership of it, but the basic so this is an update to an update, not so critical update. We talked before about the journalist in Missouri who was prosecuted, essentially charged with hacking because he viewed the source of the Department of Education website, saw that there were I think it was hashed social security numbers for employees of the Department of Education. He notified the Department of Education, what you might call a responsible disclosure. They took that disclosure and charged him with hacking of the Department of Education website. And then the final update now is that they have dropped those charges.
I just want to correct one timeline issue was that he brought it to them. I'm fairly certain they didn't give a shit, so he wrote an article about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now they do care, and they care so much that they charged him with computer intrusion or something. So they've dropped the charges. I think it was the governor of Missouri, right? I forget that guy's name.
Doesn't matter.
He either came to his senses or someone came down and was like, "You're an idiot. Stop being an idiot and drop this," because that is so absurd.
I have a different theory. So this is the third time we've talked about this story. We talked about it when it first happened. We talked about it when they decided to press charges. Now, hopefully, we're wrapping it up because they've dropped the charges. And what we talked about, one possible motivation is just the straight up attack on freedom of the press by trying to go after a journalist, just almost for the sake of going after a journalist. In today's political environment in the U.S., that kind of rewards that, right? I wonder if part of what happened in dropping the charges was that they knew they weren't going to win, so they wanted to leave the door open to making these same attacks on somebody else without having to set a precedent of taking it to court.
Yeah. That's why I said it. I think when it was tweeted, that I added the comment that it was not the resolution we were looking for. I mean, it's a kind of an icky resolution. The guy is like unhappy that his reputation is still. There was no apology. There was no, hey, you know what? This is not. It's the dickheads in Missouri going, oh, we're graciously not following up on this because we don't think we're going to let this one slide this time. Come on, guys. You didn't think you were going to win, so you kind of made the best tactical move to make yourself still look good. They made their point. All their supporters still think, oh, yes, very, very firm on the terrible hackers out there. Yeah, well done. Yeah. Journalists. Yeah, bastards. And he's going to get more money for it for his next campaign.
I don't think anybody talked him out of it. I think they knew full well going in that it was bullshit. They know now that it was bullshit. They feel like they proved their point, and they left the door open for them to be able to do it again.
Fucking politics, man.
Honestly, all I see here is you've now painted a giant red crosshair on yourself and your local administration and your local state government-run websites. That is the only outcome from every black hatter who cares.
Oh, right.
Would see this as this is classic hacktivism, saying basically like you're acting like a dick publicly towards someone who did some good for you, technology-wise. Like, you are so fucked. Like,
there's some sysadmins who are cursing. They're looking through the logs, going, "Oh man, why did you do that?"
Yeah, I have to
stay awake for the whole weekend.
Do not advocate, and you should not definitely do that. We are totally against that.
Do that.
You will not get full support from us.
No,
if you do that now,
we do not approve of this message.
No.
We absolutely do not fully approve of you doing that.
Completely agree with you, Mike, and you, John, that this is a terrible idea. Yes.
The worst idea, actually. Yes. Big yes. A big resounding yes, you should not do this.
Oh dear. I mean, this whole show is just us amusing ourselves, right? But I mean, seriously, don't. I mean, wouldn't it be terrible?
Honestly, what a terrible, terrible thing to do.
Could they see me
Wouldn't it
wink?
be
Did
awful
I do it the
if,
wrong
like,
eye? Was that my left eye?
Next week. It's who's the guy who always tries to wink with both eyes? Anyway, wouldn't it be terrible?
Mike Parson was the governor's name, by the way.
Story. Mike
Oh, was
Parson.
it? Was that the
Yeah,
Mike Parson?
Mike
That was the
Parson.
governor who tweeted all about this. The guy that like held this at the helm and
started this all off.
Definitely should not be targeting him specifically.
Yeah.
And the reporter was Josh Renaud from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Well, huge shout out to him. Huge amount of kudos and respect. No sarcasm. Not saying that there was sarcasm before, but actually, that's a really intense thing to go through. Very scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he posted. So this was the two different links that were posted. I posted his post from his blog, I believe, talking about how stressful this has been for him for the last 7 months. Because for him, it wasn't a political statement. He honestly was just trying to write a story, make a responsible disclosure, got roped into this whole political drama with this governor of Missouri. And thankfully, it seems like it's over now.